Hello, Instagram, Molly Trotter here. So excited to be coming to you. It's just going to be me for a few short minutes, but I want to talk about that you are what you think you are. You are what you think you are. Now, I have a lot of people coming in on my Influence and Conversion show. We go live multiple times every week. If you go over to my IGTV, you can check out a lot of different interviews from a lot of different subject matter experts to help you really be able to progress forward. Hey, Bethany, nice to see you here. So just really want to drop in here and just really give you this word here. You are what you think you are. Number one, whenever I come on video, especially being an on-camera confidence coach, helping people really be able to come into their own, into their message and everything that they do. Hi, Eva. Nice to see you. You really got to be able to have the look. When you have that look about you, like, man, I look good. I did my hair. I did my makeup. I got my clothes, just on point. It gives that appearance of like, you know what? I take myself seriously. I know what I do is important. I know how I feel and how I show up matters to me. I get people asking me all the time, Molly, you get ready all the time. You go live all the time. Because if I get ready and I stay ready, then I'll never have to worry about, wait, am I ready or not? Because I'm always just on the ball. Now, I always pour that into my clients where it's like, when you have that appearance of like, look, I take myself seriously. I know I'm important and I know I have something of value. Your appearance talks to other people. So being able to get ready physically is a huge part, because I know if I just wear if I wore some pajama pants or something, or I didn't have my hair done, I'm going to take the rest of the day and be pretty lackadaisical. I'm not going to lie. And that's just me. So being able to pour into your appearance, to take pride in how you look, I think is so important. A lot of people can sleep on that, especially after this pandemic, right? Oh, I can just be home in my PJs and I don't have to be on camera. I don't have to do this and that. But then how does that pour into what is it that you do? Are you taking those extra steps to pour into your health, your body, how you look, things like that? And when you walk out of the house and you're looking good, you put some extra elbow grease into it, it really does make a difference. So number one, look important. Your appearance really does talk to other people. Number two, believe that the work that you do is important. Think that your work is important. Believe that it is important. You may have other people that don't believe in it. You may have a lot of people that don't support it. But at the end of the day, if you think and you believe that your work is important, guess what? Other people are going to catch on. Other people are going to take you seriously. A lot of the times that I have found in my journey of being an entrepreneur for the last 5 years of being a full-time entrepreneur, and probably for the last, I would say 7 being an entrepreneur in general, is that whether I'm in my own corner, other people are, it shouldn't shake you no matter what. Some people are only trying to poke at you and see where the holes are to see if you're serious about this. Are you going to stick with this? Are you going to be committed to this? So many people are so used to jumping around to things because they either don't have the validation, they don't have the self-belief that what they do really does matter. And again, if you go look at my IGTV in the Influence and Conversion section, I talk with so many subject matter experts in the service-based coaching industry and how they're helping people with their life, their relationships, their business, how to be able to get their message out there. And I love being able to talk to people like that because they know that their work matters. And I'm just highlighting that their work matters and showing people here are the options. But you, the person that's watching this, the person that's watching and listening to me right now, you have to think that what you do truly does matter, because that's where it all starts. If you go in with a shaky voice and maybe just not really confident in what it is that you do, people are going to be like, awkward, I'm leaving now. You got to be able to build that belief in yourself, because if you don't have it in yourself, what makes you think other people are going to believe you? So the second one is think that your work is valuable. Think that your work is important, because other people will catch on. They'll catch on to your excitement and your energy. And I talked about this last week. How you choose to speak really does play a huge part. Your voice inflection, your energy, your excitement, and everything that you do plays a huge part, because people want to be a part of something that's exciting, that's happening, that's moving forward. So important. The third piece to this is, and I've learned this over the years, you have to give yourself pep talks several times a day. So can I get some hearts floating up, or can I say, yes, me too, inside of the chat, if you guys are used to giving yourselves pep talks multiple times a day, for the simple reason that just because you do it in the beginning of the day, maybe when you're working out, when you get up, okay, let's do this. Thank you, Janie. I love that you're involved in this. And it's so true. Giving yourself pep talks several times a day will really help you in those down moments. There's going to be moments where, you know what, somebody is going to shake your belief, or somebody's going to say something you don't like, or somebody's just going to flat out disagree, maybe push your buttons. Guess what? Take a second, pause, regroup, whether that's praying, diving into a book, clearing your mind, deep breaths, whatever that is for you. You need to give yourself those moments, those pep talk moments, those deep breath moments several times a day, because especially, being in sales and marketing, being a coach, I'm dealing with people all day long in different capacities. And when you're talking with people, you're taking on whatever it is that they're bringing to that meeting. You're taking on maybe that stress, that anxiety, that frustrating conversation they had with their wife or their child earlier that day. You never know where they're coming from. And sometimes that can be projected onto you when it has nothing to do with you. So there's a side note. There's a side nugget for you guys. Most of the time when somebody's projecting onto you and you're like, where is this coming from? 9 times out of 10 has nothing to do with you. Everything to do with how they need to actually probably sit in their own moment, take a deep breath, channel their feelings, give themselves a pep talk to be ready for the next thing. Because life's not going to stop because you're having a hard time. Life is going to keep going, and it's going to keep throwing curveballs at you to be like, do you want this? Oh, you do? Here's this curveball. Oh, you want that? Another curveball. It is going to constantly come at you on a regular basis, and that's okay. That's God testing us. Do we really want what we say that we want? Or better yet, are we trusting in him that he's guiding us and giving us everything that we need? Because newsflash, you guys, we have it all inside of us. Everything that we need is already inside of us. We don't need more information. We don't need a lot of the things that we think we need out here. More often than not, we just need the accountability, and we need to have that belief in ourselves that we're going to get there. You may not know how, and I know we all want to know the how, me included, love to know the how in a lot of different things in my life right now. But I just get to trust and just lay it at God's feet and be like, all right, Lord, where do you want me to go? What do you want me to do? And having that faith. Because so many times we want to be able to get things on our timing, our dime, right now, right here, right now, because we're in a microwave society that says I needed it yesterday and I don't want to wait. But guess what? The payout, the perseverance, the real, true, deep purpose, loving using words starts with P, obviously, is going to be built in the waiting. It's going to be built in the hard times. If everything came easy, you never could really appreciate when the good things come, because you got to have those rough times. You got to have those challenging moments to really build character. So the pep talks several times a day are so key. You guys, take time to give yourself a pep talk. Take time to go look out the window. Take time to go outside. Do things that you need to do for you. Because I remember, maybe just a few years ago, I was literally working, I swear I was like 24/7. I would be up till midnight, sleeping, up at 6, working like 7 days a week, crazy, trying to figure things out, getting things going. And I was burning the candle at both ends. I'm like, this is not sustainable. But it wasn't until I added me time, adding breaks, taking charge of my schedule, and knowing, I actually had this happen last week. First of all, first question, do you have time that you protect in your schedule that's just for you? Maybe that's a few hours in the morning, a few hours in the middle of the day, a few hours in the evening, wherever is best for you. Do you have time during the day that you protect those hours to have just for you to recharge? For me, that's the morning. And I had a clubhouse that I was hosting last week, and I had somebody come in and ask, hey, I see that you're up at 4 a.m. every morning. We have a great clubhouse. We'd love for you to jump on. It's like 4:30 your time in the morning. And although I'm up at that time, I said, I'm so grateful for this opportunity, but no, I'm respectfully going to have to decline, because my hours in the morning before 8 a.m. are for me. So from 4 to 8 a.m., that's just me time and what Molly needs to do for Molly, because if you don't protect that time of the time that you need for you to get what you need, prayer, meditation, deep breathing, a walk outside, and gym time, making breakfast, whatever that is, if you don't protect that time that you need for you, that's quite literally disrespecting yourself in a sense. It's like, hey, you know what? I don't value me enough to give me that time and block off that time. I'm going to give it to whoever needs it, just, because I want to make sure that everybody else is okay, but I'll get me later. But when? So back to that clubhouse conversation, I said, thank you so much for thinking of me. I'm so grateful. But if I don't take that time for me, I can't show up for my team. I can't show up for my husband. I can't show up for my business partners. I can't show up for the people that watch me online every day. I can't show up for the people that I want to show up for first, that have been following me, that I have dedicated time in my life to, in order, or I can't show up that way if I'm constantly pouring into other people in the time that I've set aside for me, which is my morning time. Make Time Mama says, do you find it more helpful to have a larger block for me time, or do you take smaller breaks during the day? Great question. A mix of both. Make Time Mama, mix of both. Here's what I do. From 4 a.m. to 8 a.m., I'm working out, devotions, reading, grabbing breakfast, getting ready, taking my time so I don't feel rushed going into my day. I hate feeling rushed. I'm very strategy based. I'm very organized, so I don't like feeling rushed. But during my day, I find times to take breaks as well. So here's how I structure my time. I know this is kind of off tangent, but this definitely pours into the several pep talks I give myself a day. So I work my tail off. Really Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays are my heavy days. So from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m., it is like boom, 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 go time. So I know that my best working hours for me are in the morning. So I try to get as much done as I can for work from 8 to 12. And then from 12 to 2, I'll have a few things here and there. But after 2 o'clock, I'm taking time where they need to take a nap, because I do get up at 4 a.m. I might need a nap. Go outside, get some vitamin D, lay by the pool to rest, work on other projects. Because if I don't take those little breaks, or if I'm just stringing things out through the day, nothing really ever gets intentionally done, at least for me. So I know that my best working hours are from 8 to 12, and then I have from 12 to 2 to kind of pick up whatever's left. And then after 2:30, for the most part, I'm done. I'm tapped out. And if I want to go jump in on something to get ahead, I will. But I know that, hey, you know what? You've done a lot today. We're going to give ourselves a break. So I'm not having to work a 9 to 5. I'm not having to work a full 8-hour day, because I'm crunching everything in so I can have time at the end of the day to go outside, enjoy the sunshine, things of that nature. So that's what I do. A lot of people will string out their appointments and what they need to do throughout the day, when really you can make that into smaller time blocks. And I promise you, when you figure out what those time blocks are, you are going to see so much more fruit come from that. Because my time block may be from 4 a.m. to 2 p.m., getting everything done I need during the day. But my husband's, for example, his prime time hours are quite literally from 9 p.m. to 4 a.m. 9 p.m. to 4 a.m. Given he's a videographer, he's editing footage at night, doesn't want to be bothered, but talk about total opposites. It's crazy. But when you find what works for you, you just gotta press into that. So with that being said, back to Make Time Mama, back to the point of, do you take little breaks during the day? Absolutely I do, because you know what? There's some days where I'm not in the frame of mind to make sales, for example, into my business. And because of whatever, I've been rattled about something. I know enough about my personality where it's like, you know what? We're going to reel that back, or we're going to time out, call it a day, and then get back on it tomorrow. Because sometimes it's just, it's going to be more harm than good if you try to force it. You know what I mean? And I'm definitely mentally tough where I want to push through everything at any time, all day long. But if you know the day is just not your day, take a second, step away from your work, dive into a good book, dive into the word. Obviously, I'm a person of faith, so I'm like, Lord, let's get it. What do you need to show me that I don't know right now? And let's make this happen. So thank you so much, you guys. A lot of love on here. Really, really appreciate that. The last piece that I want to touch on this live is looking at my sticky notes here. Guys, this is a gem right here. For all my clients are like, how do you remember all this stuff when you go on lives? I literally put a sticky note on my ring light. Just a little tip for you guys, so you can stay on track. And I still go on tangents. That happens all the time. Okay, the last piece is this the way an important person thinks? Is this a way an important person thinks? So when you're having self-doubt, when you're just attacking your own, should I be doing this? Am I good enough? Do I have the authority? No one's listening to me. Nobody's liking my stuff. Nobody's enrolling into my program, ... When you think that way, you got to ask yourself, is this the way an important person thinks? Is this the way that an important person thinks? So important people know that they are important. What they do matters. People are going to get results. What they have to say matters. And it doesn't matter if only one person jumps on your live, one person likes your picture, one person likes your post, whatever, you're still mentoring that person because you are deciding to step up and step out and share your wisdom with them. And this is coming from somebody who jumped in on the social media bandwagon, building a brand over 10 years ago is when I've been doing this. So I've been doing this for a long time. And for those of you that are just now new to following me, I was a news anchor and reporter for 10 years. So of course I've been in front of the camera for a very long time. However, I've just messed up more than you guys. I have tripped over my words. I've almost cussed on live television. I've fallen on live TV. I've done a lot of crazy things because in my early 20s, I was forced to do it in front of tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of people that were watching me on TV, right? So I knew that because I had that responsibility of sharing that message, I was like, you know what? I got to be able to work through these self-incriminating thoughts when I mess up or I forget a word or forget a line, whatever. So I have to coach myself constantly up here. No one may hear it out loud but me, and be like, hey, how are we showing up right now? Is it powerful? Are we being in martyr mode? Are we in victim mode? Are we in, we're trying to, what kind of mode are we in right now? Because most of the times we're talking in martyr and victim mode up here, I'll be honest. And I do it too. I'm not perfect at this. But I have to catch myself being like, is this supporting me? Is this going to support the people that I'm here to serve? Because most importantly, maybe you're not at that place where you have that self-accountability and self-respect yet. I pray that you are, and I pray that you get there, because you definitely should work on getting there. But you sometimes are held more accountable by helping other people than helping yourself. It's just the truth. A lot of people are like, you know what? I want to help you, and I'm going to be last. And you keep putting yourself last year after year after year after year. But when is it going to be time for you to put you first? And when are you going to start telling yourself and catching yourself and working through the hard stuff as to, do important people think the way that I'm thinking right now? If how I'm beating myself up right now, is that serving me? Or is that detracting from what it is we can do? Because we're going to make mistakes along the way. That's how we learn what's right and wrong, right? We make mistakes and we figure it out sometimes the hard way. But what I've learned through, especially in the last couple years, is asking for support, even hiring support, hiring coaches to look at different areas of my business, hiring people to help me see things I can't see, hiring people to help keep me accountable. That is so true. Victor has so much love on here. Thank you so much. And thank you to Victor. And I believe there's another person that bought a badge. Thank you so much. Oh, the Fizzbit. So appreciate you guys. So appreciate you. But it's so true. How are you thinking and how are you talking to yourself? If you could take anything away from this live and just have it be that, how am I talking to myself today? Am I beating myself up over things that I feel like I should have done, could do, would do, whatever? Should, coulda, woulda. How can you refresh and restart today to be the best version of yourself? That's what I choose to ask myself every day. So what I do is I dive into a couple things, and I'm going to show you some of my secrets every morning. Aside from going to the gym, because you guys see me do that every day, walking with my glitter shoes, as people call it. But here's what I do to pour into myself. Number one, I'm in the Word. You could tell this word has been used a lot because there's just markings all over it, but I am in the Word. And for all my new believers out there, and maybe they're like, the Bible's hard to read, the Message version. The Message version is a great version for you to read. I dive into this first and foremost. Secondly, I have a book called The Power of a Praying Wife, because I want to be the best wife that I can be. I want to be the best wife that I can be for my husband. That's another book that I read. And then lastly, The Magic of Thinking Big. And this, if you want a good challenge for how you believe, how you show up, how you think you really are, this book right here is amazing. But all three these together are like my magic secret sauce to start the day, aside from pouring into my body and getting a good workout in. So I wanted to share that with you guys because a lot of people see here's the success and this is where somebody's at and they're doing so great. But what about behind the scenes? What masterminds are they in? What coaches are they hiring? What environment are they in? And that's going to be another topic for another time, of talking about your environment and the importance of having a first-class environment. Not a coach environment, a first-class environment, because it will quite literally propel you into any direction you want to go, but we're wanting to go forward in this one. So I just want to come on here, you guys. I'm going to reiterate these 4 points once again, and you can watch the live if you're just jumping on, or watch the recording. But number one, here's my sticky note here. Look important. Your appearance talks to others. Your appearance really does talk to others. Number two, think your work is important. And when you start thinking your work is important, you'll start to believe it and you'll start to act like it, and people will buy into that. Number three, Pep talks several times a day. Stop where you need to stop, even if it's for 30 seconds. Be like, okay, refresh. I got this. I believe in what I do. People need what I have, and a no's not a no forever. Or just because they say a no doesn't mean I'm not valuable. Don't tie in your identity for somebody else who doesn't need you right now, because you never know when they're going to need you. You just get to keep showing up. And the fourth one is this the way an important person thinks? When you start having those self-incriminating thoughts, those self-doubting thoughts, is that the way an important person thinks? And guess what? At some point, we're all going to get to that point, but it's how fast you're going to get out of it. How fast you're going to chuck it in the backseat. How fast you're going to notice it before it even happens to be able to support yourself. And that's why those 3 books that I just showed you, the beginning of my day, I start there. And most of my days I end there too, because that's a way to pour back into me to make sure that I'm getting the nutrients, the mental nutrients that I need in order to be the best person I can be. So you are what you think you are. And if you think you're important, you're going to show up as important. If you don't think you're important, you're probably going to show up that way too. So ask yourself today, am I thinking the way an important person thinks? If you can take one thing away, am I thinking that way? And if not, how can you shift your being, shift your mindset, make a better environment in order to get there? So thank you so much, you guys, for jumping on. So appreciate you. And we'll be seeing you soon. Bye, everyone.